to Educational Hour. I'm your host Laura, and in today's segment of Resource of the Week, we're going to be critiquing two K-6 curriculum-based e-learning resources. I'd like to introduce you to our e-learning resource expert, Tim.
Hi Laura, thanks for having me on the show.
My pleasure. So what e-resource are we going to be focusing on this week?
Okay, well today I'm going to compare and review Reading Express along with Web Adventures. So, beginning with Reading Express, it is an online website which aims to make reading, spelling and comprehension engaging for K-6 students. The program allows students to log on as an avatar and collect eggs which are a reward for completing activities, and the eggs can then be spent on various prizes. For the purpose of this review though, I will only be focusing on one aspect of the website, which is the interactive library. So here, as you can see, the learning process allows children to choose from over 1,000 ebooks. Once they select an ebook, they can read it at their own pace and are then presented with a short quiz to test their comprehension and reinforce what they have read. One of the many benefits of this resource is that students can work at their own pace. However, one negative feature of the program is that if children make a mistake on the quiz, it doesn't tell them how they went wrong or what the correct answer was, which limits the students' control of their own learning.
Interesting. So tell us about Web Adventure.
Well, Web Adventures is an activity from the website Technology in Teaching and Learning. Now the science-based activity I'm focusing on is called Mission 4, and in regards to e-resources, it falls under the umbrella of exploratory environments. Now, Gravity et al. Describe an exploratory environment as a computer-based reality, which attempts to place the learner in a real-world situation, requiring the learner to engage in tasks authentic to that experience. So, for example, in Mission 4, the learner is transported to the year 2242 and becomes part of an elite team of scientists who are faced with an outbreak of malaria. The learning processes in Web Adventure include interactive experiments, mini tutorials, and also completing reviews of important information. One of the benefits of Web Adventures is that it allows a student-centered approach to learning.
So, what are the potential implications for meaningful learning in Web Adventures compared to Reading Express?
Well, Jonathan et al. Identified 5 characteristics of meaningful learning. Reading Express is a goal-directed activity which fits into Jonathan's intentional category for meaningful learning. The learners are actively and willfully trying to achieve a cognitive goal, and in this case, it's with a view to compete with their peers and to obtain prizes. On the contrary, Web Adventures provides authentic learning. Through participating in Web Adventure Mission 4, students learn about malaria in a real-world simulation, which promotes understanding and memory recall. Furthermore, learning that is firmly based in a real-world context provides a concept from which new material can be related to, which, as the Francois argues, is one of the necessities of meaningful learning.
So Tim, Squires and McDougall highlight the importance of considering the role of the teacher when evaluating e-resources. What role should teachers play with Reading Express and Web Adventures?
Good point. It is important to understand that e-resources do not reduce the role of the teacher. However, they do require the teacher to adapt their teaching approach to ensure that software is used effectively for student learning. Squires and McDougall explain that teachers should strive to become facilitators of learning, which is contrary to the traditional approach of presenting knowledge. It is very important that teachers combine the use of technology with other activities that involve different characteristics of meaningful learning.
Okay, so what are some practical examples of how these two e-resources could be used in the classroom?
Well, both e-resources should be incorporated into a unit of work where they contribute to the learning sequence as a whole. For example, one way that a teacher could incorporate Mission 4 into a unit of work could be to use it as a stimulus for a collaborative group research project. Alternatively, Reading Express may be used as an extension activity or perhaps as part of a reward system.
Great! So what is the final verdict on Reading Express and Web Adventures?
Okay, well, as I say each week, critiquing e-resources is fairly difficult because according to Shelley et al., their effectiveness relies on the teacher who facilitates the activity and furthermore, the individual learner. However, as explained, both e-resources do have the potential to engage meaningful learning, provided that they are used as part of a holistic approach to the learning environment, which should incorporate constructive, cooperative, authentic, intentional and active learning.
Thanks for your critical reflections, Tim. It's been great having you here today.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you can join us next week where we'll be looking into the value of puppets in the classroom. Goodbye for now. Bye.
Yeah, my honey come back. Sometime I'm on a rampage jack. Sometime I get a hump in my back. Sometime I'm going over here. Sometime